to like dribble. Like I'm not gonna sit there and just dribble between my legs and try to like cook you and just like showing off the handles. I'm more of just reading how I shift you, and then as soon as I see you shift a little bit, I'm moving the ball and I'm running with the ball. I'm not gonna just sit there and dribble it like I just
Yeah, so you're basically
force
just
out.
saying that you don't. You're saying that you don't over dribble,
No, I don't. I like to make the quick moves and execute.
and that's not. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not saying you should over dribble the ball because but what I am trying to do is I'm trying to how can I put it? I'm trying to. Here's the thing. You're gonna have to be your ball handling is gonna have to be a weapon because I'm gonna keep going back to your height. You know, you're not a big guy. You're not going to be playing forward. You're going to be playing guard. And more than likely, you're going to need to be able to play point guard. And point guards do dribble the ball a lot. Sometimes you're dribbling it just so you can wait for the play to develop, or so you can wait for the guy who's cutting across from the baseline to cut all the way across the other side of the court. You see what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to keep that dribble alive. So it's okay to dribble the ball, especially in today's game. Like today's game is a lot more dribbling is kind of what you see a lot more from certain players. Now don't get me wrong, if you can't handle the ball, then they'll get it in someone else's hand and you'll have to work off the pick and roll or just run, standing in the corner probably. Really, probably just standing in the corner, waiting for the defense to collapse on someone, or double somebody to get double teamed, and now they can kick it to you and you can catch and shoot. But again, like there's only one or two guys like Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry that can really, play off ball, and they're not even that short. I think both of those guys are 6'3" or 6'2". They just look little, They just look little when they're out there because everybody else is so taller. But Kyrie and Steph are 6'2", 6'3", right? And even they have the ball in their hands more often than not. I'm just saying if you could take them off the ball and they could stand in the corner and be a threat if need be. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have Luka dominating the ball and Kyrie could be in the corner and Steph could have Draymond handling the ball and Steph could be in the corner and he could be a threat. Or Chris Paul when Chris Paul came over, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's where if you're not gonna handle the ball, these days you're gonna be standing in the corner waiting to catch and shoot. And at 5'11", quite frankly, that's just not something the coach is gonna have you in that type of a position. Like,
Yeah, that's not
like
the ideal position.
you get what I'm trying to say? Like we're doing
Yeah.
this. We're doing this for a 5-on-5. We're doing this so that way. Now, if we're doing this for Ballers Life mixtape, or we're trying to just hoop for our own brands, which hey, we could do that. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to get in school, you're trying to play pro, then we got to understand the pro game. We got to understand the era that we're in and what style of basketball gets played at the pro level. And we got to try to train ourselves to fit into, you know, what what system the coaches are going to want to run, typically, or just in general, right? So all that being said, your ball handling is going to have to be something that you're going to have to just take control of. You're going to have to be a lot more um, dominant, assertive, I would say, with the ball in your hand. And if that means you're doing two or three or four or five moves, so be it. Because honestly, that first move that you do, you might get by a guy, but guess what? Now you got help defense there. Nowadays, it's not just one person that's guarding you. Hey, I got to get by this one player, and then I'm to the basket to lay up. It doesn't work that way anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In fact, there's a lot of pick and rolls. It's weird. It's not even the way it used to be. Like back in my day, you could shake a guy and get to the basket. Now, there's going to be somebody else there. So
Yeah, usually the power forward comes over.
power forward's
Yeah,
going to come up.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Power forward's going to come up, you know. And if you're that type of a player, they're already going to be watching you. And then, too, a lot of offenses run pick and roll. So you're going to, you know, really, you need to be calling for picks. That's why in my drills, I don't know if you knew what I was doing or if you've seen, I don't know which ones you saw, but I've got the balls laying around and I use the balls as cones for pick and roll. So before I just start doing moves, I might use the ball like it's a pick. And then I might do a second move, like, okay, I'm going around this pick, or I might be dribbling slower just so I can let the guy who's screening get comfortable to come up to me to set. You know, usually he's a big guy that's going to come up. So I might have to turn to the side for a little bit, take a couple of slow dribbles so I can let the big guy get there, get comfortable. Now I do a first little step. I might hop a little bit. You say you watch Luka, you see Luka do it all the time. That's really what he's doing, and that's why he's doing it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's starting to understand like why you do the stuff you do. And like when you're doing everything for a reason in basketball, basketball has a rhythm and it shows. Like, okay, you might not know why he's doing it, but there's a reason. There's always something that, like, that's why my videos look so good, because I'm not just out there doing it to look a certain way. Like, it's one thing to over dribble, is another thing to do it because you're doing it for a reason. And if you're waiting for a pick to get set, then you know what you're doing. You're controlling the offense, and that's something that we got to start doing. But again, like right now, that's all advanced stuff. Like we need to break it down to the basics, and just get some, like, get really just get that shot right, because everything from basketball opens from that. When you have a shot that's comfortable, then you become a threat, and defenses really don't know how to guard you. If you really can't shoot the ball, everybody's just gonna let you shoot it and back off you anyway. So, and you said that's a pretty comfortable part of your game right now. So let's do. I want to get you to shooting probably about 20 shots from each spot. From each spot, and you can sit the camera right below the rim, because that's gonna give you the whole top of the key, just the way you had it pretty much in that other video from the other day. You could sit it the same way. Just sit it the same way, maybe a little bit more in the middle, and just shoot from the top of the key. You can shoot your mid ranges, free throw range, college three, and just shoot about 10, 15 shots from each spot. Then attack the basket, driving with your offhand, which would be your left hand. You're not always going to be able to drive, with your dominant hand. So, I want to see how you can drive, going full speed with your left hand. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that so I can see. Because here's the thing. You should be very comfortable by yourself. You should be very comfortable. You got to be able to warm up like a pro and look like a pro while you have no defense, if we expect you to look like a pro when there's defense. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we'll just take it from there, because I really, I got to get you to where you're looking very comfortable with what you're doing. And then when you do, then that's when I'll start saying, hey, okay, well, now I'm gonna say, okay, well, I need you to make 5 in a row. I need you to make 6 in a row. Okay, then you'll be like, well, why am I not making 4 or 5 in a row? And I'll be able to look at your shot and tell you why you're not making 4 or 5 in a row. And then I'll start adding things to your drills to start to, because if you are making them, Now I'm gonna say, okay, now do this and make 4 in a row. Now do this and make 3 in a row, 5 in a row. Okay, then I'm gonna say, okay, we'll do it same thing, but now a little quicker now. And then if you were making 5 in a row, guess what it's gonna do? When you speed it up, now it's gonna go to 3 in a row because it's harder to make it when you're shooting quick. It's harder to make as many shots. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's do this. Like basketball is an individual sport. Like people like to play team. They like to compete. They like to play 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. They like to do all that because it's good brotherhood in it. It's teamwork. It's competition. But guess what? It's about you, and it's about you increasing your skills. And basketball is a sport where you have the luxury to improve yourself with nobody else there. I don't care. You might have to go to the gym earlier because 9 times out of 10, if you're the first one in the gym, then you're gonna have the basket all to yourself. You see what I'm saying? And then by the time people come in there, you've already gotten your workout in. Now you can start testing some of the stuff you worked out in the games. So you gotta be more dedicated than the other players. If you're just showing up to play and run with everybody, all you're doing is locking in your bad habits that you've already established. You haven't improved on anything. You haven't put the time in to take your game to another level. You see what I'm saying? And honestly, that's why those games look so bad because nobody out there is putting in that work like that. These are guys who are just showing up to the gym, playing against people, trying to see who can box out or who can rebound more, or who can get a putback layup more than the other guy. And that's not going to do anything. You're not going to get anything out of that. You're not even going to get anything out of playing against people who are not better than you. You're not going to get anything out of playing against people who are at an amateur level and have always played at an amateur level. That's why a lot of runs are private. That's why a lot of pro runs are group text, and guys, it's like a fraternity of guys. So usually they'll know where to go, what spots to go, what gyms to go, what times, what days. Because good basketball players like playing with other good basketball players. You'll very rarely see a really, really good basketball. Like, to be honest, like I wouldn't even want to be out there. Like I wouldn't even want to be playing with you guys. If I'd have seen that, and I'd have just went to a court by myself and been shooting. You know what I'm saying? By myself. I wouldn't have wanted to even. I would have felt like, I was wasting my time,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like guys don't even know, like, do guys know how to cut? Do guys know how to set screens? Do guys know how to really, get open, get themselves open? Are guys knowing how to post up? Are guys even doing post moves? Like you got to start associating yourself with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta start moving in a different way. Like you gotta put a separation between you and them. Like those guys out there, they're not that you're not gonna reach your goals being around players like that. You're gonna see the wrong things being done, and then you're gonna think it's okay to do this. Oh, I just seen him shoot it off the backboard, so I can just shoot a turnaround without looking at the rim and just hope it goes in. No, we don't take those kind of shots. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't miss these easy layups. Like we don't do stuff like that. So, and then I was more so thinking that you guys were gonna go up and down anyway, like 5-on-5. So I could have. Really, I just wanted to see how you passed the ball and how you. And plus, you did make. I think you made a couple good passes. I did see that. But I wanted to see you like run the floor, like your transition game. You know what I'm saying?
Alright. What's it called? So today I go to some runs at Conner. It's more like a park, so the runs are a little bit more aggressive. So definitely I'll record that out there today. And then I'll record some of those shots when I go warm up, like get a better routine of how I get started, and then
Yeah, just your just how you shoot. Like, cause if anybody who shoots about 20 shots, I'm gonna be able to see kind of like a good percentage of, this is what you do, this is how you shoot. I don't really know. I haven't seen enough shots to see, okay, this is how he shoots. I want to see what is your flow of jump shot, what's your speed of your jump shot. Don't, just shoot the way you shoot. And so I can get a good idea of, you know, while you're by yourself, because if you feel like you want to challenge yourself, if you want to get some elevation in your shot, you can. Usually, if you're playing defense, if you're playing competitive basketball, if you're wide open, you're not going to speed up the jump shot. You're just going to shoot it the way that you need to for that to get it off right there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's better to just be by yourself because you can get warmed up, and then of course once you warmed up, you can start trying to make as many in a row as you can. And like I said, and if you're not able to make, yeah, let's just do that. So I like that you sent the video. It shows that we're communicating and you're getting to it. You're not just sitting back. So cool. And then I'll be here, bro. Like I'll be here, and we'll just take it from there. And then I actually go live um around the same time, like noon tomorrow. I'll be in the gym live. So I'm gonna probably have you tune into that. And
All right.
then we'll just go from there. Sound
All right,
good?
bet that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Talk to you tomorrow. All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm working with a player who, he's sending me his videos of his runs, and I am going live with this because I want as many other people to be able to take advantage of the information I'm putting out there. Um, what works for one person, obviously there's going to be things that you guys can apply as well. This stuff is serious. Basketball season is right around the corner. There's a lot of you who just are on the outside looking in, simply just aren't good enough right now. And that's just the reality of it. And we got to change. We got to change some of the things that guys don't know. There's a lot of people who don't know what to do, um, don't know the correct way, to work out, the correct things to work at, the right approach, the correct approach. So, um, you know, and a lot of people don't want to put the work in, and that's I would say 70% of why players are on the outside looking in is because they don't want to put the work in, um, and so they're playing basketball for different reasons. Like what reasons are they playing basketball? And it's probably, who knows, maybe because they want to be a part of something. Maybe they saw some stuff on TV. Um, who I don't really know. I can't really answer that question of why people want to do what they want to do. Me. I wanted to play so I could make it to the NBA. That was my goal. My goal was to make it to the NBA, and that was it. So, and that was my specific goal. I don't know what some of you guys' you know aspirations are. I'm not really sure, but I think that we need to have an idea so that way you can cut to the chase when it's time to start getting your workouts in. You can have a goal in mind and go straight for that instead of wasting time and just being a follower and doing what you see other people doing. Just being out there. Just, oh, I'm at the court today, so I got some good work in. No, you have to learn from somebody who's been there, done that, who's been successful, who's played at the highest levels, and find out what their routines were. Like I told him, mine simply was just challenging myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna challenge myself, and 500 shots a day, sometimes 1,000 shots a day. Um, you know, and that was it. And then I also recorded myself so I could make sure that it looked like the players that I wanted to shoot like, that I wanted to play like. And I had to reconstruct my whole jump shot once I started doing that, because I realized that I was like, oh shoot, the way that I'm shooting it's not the way that it doesn't look right, like. And is it frustrating? Yeah, but if you really want to improve your game and you really want to get noticed and you really want to stand out, you're not going to let that deter you. You're not going to let the fact that you have to reconstruct your game make you just stop or just be stubborn and say, oh, I'm just going to shoot this way anyway. That's just being, what's the word I'm looking for? Stubborn, I guess. Like that's just being delusional. You know what I mean? You're delusional thinking that, oh, I'm going to make this work just because I'm me. No, you're not who are you and who's worked with you that's in the NBA? And if that answer is nobody, then you're delusional because the percentages will show you that less than 1% of people even make it. So what would make that person be you? And especially if you're under 6'3", then now you know, and that's why teachers do tell us all, oh, well, you know, you're not going to make it in basketball because they're looking at numbers. So, you know, I'm someone who's done this, who's made it, who's defied the odds. Um, and so obviously, like I said, you know, you really got to make basketball kind of like your main thing. It has to be like what you do. And let's get into some. I'm gonna actually show you guys some video here. I'm gonna show you guys some video. Let's see. So we can do some film study here, some film breakdown.
Typically do NBA training, so as you guys know, probably seen it on your news feed. NBA training right now is probably one of the hottest new things out there. Yeah, it's gonna be a movement, so affiliated with the NBA and under its umbrella. Hopefully, even in a more permanent way, because I'm not gonna.
Huh. Let's see what we got here. Try it or not. Oh, I don't know. Look good. They ain't calling that. These are some good drills, man. I need to be watching these anyway. This was from the Players Association, NBA Players Association I was working at. See me right there. And it was just next level, Sean Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? It took me under his wing, allowed me to step in, help these guys out. But top 50 combine HBCU